This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are outside PPT Gym. Delighted to be joined by the operator, Owen O'Neill. Owen, we've obviously just had the announcement yesterday. You're back in action, 3rd of August, an All-Irish clash with Dylan Moran. I'm sure at this stage you're buzzing. Obviously you've probably known about it for a bit of time, but you're buzzing obviously now to get into another All-Irish clash.
Yeah, it's my second All-Irish fight. I knew about it probably for a couple of weeks, but it just wasn't confirmed. And yesterday when the fight poster came out, that's when you know it's definitely happening. And to be honest, I could hardly sleep last night. I was that excited, and my phone completely blew up. I can't believe that many people was messaging me about it and shared the post and stuff like that. So there's a proper buzz about it, and I can't wait.
Is it proper, I guess, everything obviously went down with obviously the Deco sort of fight last year. It's strange in a way because obviously you're supposed to fight Deco, Dylan was supposed to fight Deco, obviously Deco was out with a cut for obviously the Dylan fight last April, and then obviously you tried to make the match up, whereas now it's you were both scheduled initially to fight Deco, but you are now fighting each other instead, so it's a sort of weird sort of concept the way it's came about.
It's like a wee circle between us all. Obviously it was my fault that me and Deco didn't fight, but maybe I get the win against Moran. I could fight Deco after him, do you know what I mean?
It sort of sets it up well, and it's another sort of strange thing as well. Obviously Paddy was sort of starting off. Obviously he was over in Kieran Farrell's gym, and obviously Dylan was there. So there's
I didn't even know it. No.
There's sort of I think Dylan was over in the gym, and Paddy was sort of starting off. So there's sort of been that bond together. There's no bad blood in any way.
There's no beef or nothing. It's just going to be a cracking fight, mate. And everyone's buzzing about it. There's no beef or nothing, and just it's a cracking All-Irish fight, and I just know it's going to be a cracker.
You've wondered, obviously, these step-ups, obviously you've had the Owen Duffy fight, obviously not far away here from Gerard, and obviously your first All-Irish clash, and what a fight that was. You've wanted these step-ups to sort of prove that you sort of, I guess, they prove if obviously you belong at the level, if you can go past the level. So this is your perfect opportunity, I guess, in some ways, to show people now that you're serious, obviously, about the sport and you want to progress.
Yeah, well, this is the biggest stage yet, the biggest show that I've fought on, that I will be fighting on. It's in the Odyssey. It's a dream come true. But I was talking to my uncle last night. I gotta forget about all that. At the end of the day, I want to win, and all that there. It's the biggest show in my life. It's the biggest place I've fought, the Odyssey and all. It is brilliant, but I do want to forget about that and just go in and get the win and push on again. Because I do want to win. I want to win more belts in boxing, and I'm not happy with just winning the Celtic title. I want to push on.
You deserve it, obviously, in a lot of ways as well. We obviously know this, and I know we've spoken about this many times, obviously, the effect you can have with fans and obviously selling tickets, but in some ways you deserve these opportunities because of what you've done. You have to sell tickets in order to obviously get these opportunities. And I've said to you, I think in our last interview, you've never really had the opportunity to have full exposure and obviously selling tickets. You've sort of got a blank canvas now to go, let's see how many tickets Owen O'Neill can sell. And the good thing as well is going to be no football on as well, so there's no clashes with.
Well, hopefully the maybe first league of the season, maybe for
I think it might be the week after.
The week after, well, hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. Yeah.
So obviously the Red Army will be out in full support, and you just won the Irish Cup as well, first time since '79 as well. So the Cliftonville fans are out in full voice.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like I said there before we started shooting there, I was doing a promo at Solitude and all. It's just crazy. It is a dream come true. All what's happening, but I do gotta forget about it and get the business done. I mean, I'm in there to fight, and I'm in there to get the win, and it's as simple as that.
Obviously, there's two big cards obviously coming up now in the SSE. Obviously, your good friend Conor Quinn's obviously signed with Queensbury, and he's obviously going to be co-main event. And he's sort of said for years, I'm going to Martin Rogan and Carl Frampton, Mick Conlan, obviously Ryan Burnett, where he's obviously now went full circle from sort of being the fan in the crowd and dreaming of these big nights. What cards have you obviously been to the SSE? Did you ever dream that it was going to be you? It was going to be stepping inside a ring inside the SSE?
I've been to every one of them. I've been to Martin Rogan's ones. I've been to them all. Burnett's, his two fights there. Obviously Mick and Paddy's and all. I've been to them all. Frampton. And it's just honestly, I can't pinch myself. It's madness. Like I said, me and my uncle were talking there last night, and it is a dream come true. And we were saying, I wish my granddad was still alive. to come and watch me, because that's all he, like, my granddad was the first person to ever bring me to the Odyssey, and it was to watch Martin Rogan, and that's who I went with, my granddad. So it's mad, like, when you think about it, and but it's just like, I want to do it for my nanny and granddad too, you know what I mean? And but it's just, it is a dream come true, but I gotta forget about that, and I'm in there to win, and it's as simple as that, you know what I mean?
The obviously Paddy McCrory is obviously doing wonders for you. It's going to be your second fight, obviously, under, and obviously Gerard Hughes is on the card there as well. We don't have any Paddy at the moment. Sort of ones have been saying there, we need to get Paddy on the card. Like,
definitely.
He's obviously doing wonders for you. Obviously, he took a chance, I guess, sort of on you, obviously, and bringing you involved with everything that went on. But he's doing wonders for you straight away.
Yeah, well, obviously, when I missed weight, like, I didn't know what was going to happen, and Paddy reached out to me as a friend first of all, and was there for me, and then he said to me that he would manage me, and look now, like, I'm going into the biggest fight of my career, on the biggest platform in Belfast, like the biggest place where you can fight, and I just couldn't thank Paddy enough, and I want to repay him by doing the business.
There's obviously no scheduled title on the line yet. Obviously the BUA came out and said that sort of couldn't be for the Irish welterweight title because Declan Geraghty is obviously next in line. I've been sort of speaking to Jamie Conlan sort of about this, and he's sort of still hoping it can be for a title. It probably won't make any difference whether it's for a title or not, because, you know, at the end of the day, you have a big occasion, you obviously have a big opponent. You know, a title will be nice, but obviously it's not the end goal, is it?
No, well, I got told it was for the Irish title, and the winner fights Daco after, and I was all for that. Like, it's it was like my second chance at it. Obviously, it's the first time I missed weight, so and then I heard that Daco's team weren't happy with that. So just hopefully there's some sort of title on the line, but if there's not, I don't mind, because it's such a big fight anyway. Like, I seen the publicity it got yesterday when it got announced, so it is what it is. And if there's no title on the win or on the line, I'll still get the win and just push on for another one. You know what I mean?
And what do you sort of, you know, not that I'm obviously looking to get any beef, obviously out of here sort of having for Dylan, but, you know, Dylan's obviously fought at probably a bigger level. Obviously his last fight was on a Sky Sports, obviously he fought Florian Markey, and I guess this didn't turn out well from the night. Obviously he was stopped in the first round. What do you sort of make of Dylan's career? Like, you know, do you go into the fight as an underdog? What sort of mentality wise do you sort of look at the fight?
I think it's obviously my hardest fight to date. He's obviously a huge profile, but I know he's southpaw. I've watched a bit of him. But it's just a fight. It's a fight I believe I can win, and obviously he believes he can win too. But that's what's going to make it exciting, and I just believe that I'm going to win, and that's all that matters. Like, you know what I mean? Do
you sort of? I guess you've obviously seen the beef that obviously him and Deco have sort of had. They've sort of had this building now, sort of, you know, since their fight was sort of postponed. Like, in some ways, can you sort of have a positive out of that, where his mind might not be fully on you, where he might think that you could be an easy touch, and he's already thinking of Deco? Like, can you obviously home in on the fact that his mind might be elsewhere with everything that's going on with Deco in the background?
I don't know. I don't really look too much into it, to be honest with you. All I know that I'm fully focused on. But I did see that he put up a story. Someone showed me that he says, let me deal with O'Neill first, and then I'll fight Daco. So maybe he is looking over me. I don't really care, to be honest with you, but just as long as I get in and do my job, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? I
guess in some ways, obviously, where he's saying something like that, where his mind and his focus is going to be 100% you now. So anything else, and probably, I guess, if I was to ask him this similar question, he's probably going to say, "I'm fully focused on yourself." So you know, there's no point speaking about what's in the future and telling the past what's in the present.
Exactly. I'm just flipping buzzing, mate, to be honest with you. Like, when I missed weight against Daco, I really did think there was no, like, I thought that, as mad as it sounds, like, you're thinking, I'm never going to come back from this. And now look, I'm on the biggest stage in Belfast, and I've been to the Odyssey many times to watch everyone else, and that's my chance. You know what I mean?
You get a free ticket in as well too.
You
have to fight to get a free ticket. Like, I don't know who's more stingier. Obviously, you or Conor. Conor
Quinn
bought me a coffee last Saturday.
I don't believe it.
I think he said he sent me an invoice in the post for it though.
I'll believe that, like.
But like, you know, Tyrone McKenna obviously back.
Yeah.
He's obviously headlining the card. Obviously in a rematch with Mohamed Mimoune. Like, I guess you'll probably not get the focus so much on. Depends on where you'll be, I guess, on the card. So you'll not really get to see a lot of other fights in the card, but you'll obviously get to see the main event obviously afterwards. Like, you know, fair plays. They Tyrone McKenna is obviously coming back and having another go after his war with Lewis Crocker at the end of last year.
Like I've been the same. I've been the fights that Tyrone's fought on maybe 5 times. I fought on one of his cards against Conor, or no, not Conor. What was that one?
Oh, that was it was like your second fight.
It was my second fight.
It was Dara Foley.
Yes. So I fought on that card that he was on. So this is he's main event now, and I'm under him, and he's obviously the most entertaining boxer in Ireland. So it's a good feeling to be fighting on his card too. You know what I mean?
It's, you know, I guess anybody I've sort of spoke to the sort of the last week or so, that obviously Irish boxing booming, you know, tenfold now. Obviously, Anto Cacace sort of helping that. Obviously, becoming IBF champion 2 weeks ago. Do you sort of can you take an inspiration obviously of what Anto's been through? Like you've obviously come through hard times in your professional career. We've seen obviously Anto's been 10 times worse than anybody else. So can you find inspiration obviously in things he's been through, where things haven't went right, where you can go, I can keep focused, I can know things can go wrong, fight cards can get cancelled, fights can be pulled, but you can still get the goal that you have set in the sport?
Yeah, well, that thing of me missing weight, like, it felt like a defeat. It felt worse than a defeat, because it just, everything hit me about my nanny then, and I don't think people from the outside know how much my nanny meant to me. It's like losing a mum, you know what I mean? She played a big part in bringing me up and stuff, so it was just a terrible time in my life, and I've come out the other side, and now look, like I'm fighting in the Odyssey. It's just, honestly, I just can't believe it still. And but I do want to forget about all that. I want to get the win and just push on, you know what I mean?
What can we see from yourself? Obviously, you know, this is your first big fight, obviously under Dan Anderson, obviously since you joined up in the gym. What can we expect obviously from you in 9 weeks' time? Obviously, as I guess everything at the experience you've sort of had so far, obviously are going to catapult obviously into this fight. You know, we're probably going to see the very best version of Owen O'Neill we've seen so far. Yeah,
100%. It's going to be the best me coming, without a doubt. Top class performance, and I'm going to give it 100%. And as long as I show up, I'll perform and I'll get the win.
And is there anything you'd like to say to Dylan, obviously, for the next 9 weeks until he's meet face to face?
Thanks for taking the fight, and thanks. It's such a massive fight, and I can't wait, and may the best man win.
Well, we'll go on, obviously, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, we'll let you go and obviously enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll no doubt catch up with you in fight week.
Good man, big son.